To really understand why this happens, we have to look at the contrast between what you think is a productive morning routine and what your body actually needs. You probably believe you're being super efficient, right? Getting a jump on the day. But you're actually slowing your metabolism down. You're creating a pattern where fat storage becomes easier and fat burning becomes harder every single day. Your body desperately needs to stay in a low-stress, glycogen-depleted state to keep burning that fat. But, well, let's walk through what most of us actually do to totally ruin it. Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into something absolutely crucial, the 30-minute fat loss window, and why morning timing completely, hands down, beats hard work. Because here's the shocking truth. The absolute fastest way to burn belly fat, it isn't found in punishing workouts or those impossibly strict diets. Nope, it's actually all about what happens the exact second you open your eyes. And that brings us to a question that I'm sure so many of you can relate to. Why do you feel stuck despite trying absolutely everything? It's incredibly frustrating, right? You drag yourself out of bed to hit the gym, you're eating clean, you're staying consistent day in and day out, but the results are just painfully slow and totally unpredictable. Honestly, you probably start to think your metabolism is just completely broken. Well, I'm here to tell you your body isn't broken at all. The reality is you're likely putting in all that hard work later in the day while completely ignoring this highly sensitive, totally crucial morning window. 30. That is the magic number. We're talking about a super narrow 30-minute window of time right after waking up when your body's fat-burning potential is at its absolute peak. Think about it. Your insulin is low, your glycogen is totally depleted from sleeping, and your fat cells are sitting wide open. Your metabolism is literally searching for fat to burn. But what could have been hours of effortless, natural fat loss usually disappears in seconds during these 30 minutes. Almost all of us completely shut this incredible system down without ever realizing our body was literally begging to burn belly fat for us. Let's look at the exact timeline of a typical metabolism-killing morning. Minute 1, your eyes open, and without even thinking, you reach over for your phone. Minute 15, you've made it to the kitchen and you're pouring that first cup of black coffee on a completely empty stomach. Minute 30, you sit down for a quick breakfast, usually something heavy in carbohydrates, probably thinking it's a healthy way to start the day. I mean, it feels totally normal, doesn't it? But chronologically, these everyday habits are rapidly and systematically destroying your fat-burning window. Let's break down the actual biological damage of this timeline, what the source material calls the sabotage sequence. First, that phone check. Your brain processes those unread emails and social media notifications as literal threats before your logical mind even fully wakes up. Your amygdala reacts, your cortisol rises sharply, and boom, your body instantly shifts out of fat burning and starts aggressively protecting your stored fat. Second, the coffee. Caffeine without nutrients just amplifies that stress response. It drains essential minerals and heavily favors energy storage over fat loss. And finally, the carbs. They instantly spike your insulin, slamming those fat-burning doors completely shut. Just like that, within 30 minutes, your window is completely gone. All right, let's pivot a bit to section 1, your body's overnight reset. For the last 8 hours while you were catching Z's, your body was actually doing some incredible metabolic heavy lifting behind the scenes. So much so that by the time you wake up, a perfect hormonal storm has formed. First off, your insulin levels have dropped all the way to baseline. This low insulin environment allows a very specific enzyme called hormone-sensitive lipase to fully activate. You can think of this enzyme like a literal key that unlocks your fat cells to release stored energy rapidly. At the same time, your glycogen, which is just stored sugar, is significantly reduced. Since there's no quick sugar available, your body shifts to fat oxidation as its primary fuel. Plus, your growth hormone remains elevated from your final sleep cycles, which directly accelerates that fat breakdown. So the absolutely crucial point here is that your body isn't just randomly guessing what fuel to burn in this moment. No, it is specifically targeting visceral fat. This is that stubborn, stored fat surrounding your internal abdominal organs. Your body actually wants to use this belly fat as its main energy supply right when you wake up. But, and this is a huge but, this biological state is incredibly fragile. Literally one wrong move and the whole system crashes. Which leads us perfectly into section 2, the 5-step chain reaction. Now here's the really good news. Fat loss actually follows a predictable biological sequence. The source material outlines this ultimate blueprint, a 5-step chronological sequence that actually extends this super fragile fat burning window. Avoid the phone, engage in fasted movement, get some cold exposure, seek out morning sunlight, and eat protein first. It's like a domino effect. Each step builds on the last, creating a massive chain reaction inside your body. But remember, miss just one step and the whole system weakens. So let's look at each one. Step 1 begins the literal second you wake up. Keep the phone away. As we discussed earlier, you absolutely must protect your cortisol response. By just leaving your phone on the nightstand, you prevent that immediate amygdala stress spike. You're keeping your body in a calm, controlled, fat-burning state rather than shocking it into a panic-induced storage mode. Okay, moving on to step 2, 20 to 30 minutes of fasted, steady movement. Now please notice the word steady. Your body is low on glycogen right now and searching for fuel, so moving forces it to burn fat. But you have to keep this at a controlled conversational pace, like a brisk walk. High-intensity workouts too early in the morning, they can actually spike your cortisol and reverse your progress entirely. So move for sure, but do not trigger those stress hormones. Once you've activated that fat burning with your walk, step 3 amplifies it dramatically. And yeah, I know nobody wants to hear this one, but you need 30 to 60 seconds of cold exposure. When cold hits your skin, say at the dreaded tail end of your morning shower, your nervous system reacts almost instantly. A neurochemical called norepinephrine rises sharply. This acts as a massive signal switch for your internal temperature control, shifting your metabolism into a much, much higher gear. The whole reason cold exposure is so vital comes down to something called brown fat. Most people never activate this correctly. Brown fat is a specialized tissue designed purely to burn energy, not store it. Think of it as a specialized furnace inside your body. When the cold triggers it, this furnace turns on and actively pulls fuel directly from your stubborn visceral fat just to generate heat. Without that cold trigger, this fat-burning furnace just stays totally dormant. Step 4 is what aligns your entire system: natural morning sunlight. You see, fat loss is deeply, deeply tied to biological timing. When natural light enters your eyes, it signals your brain's circadian clock to synchronize. It sharpens your cortisol rhythm for the day, but even more amazingly, it increases the production of a really powerful hormone called adiponectin. The specific hormone directly enhances fat burning and actively reduces visceral fat accumulation. Literally just a few minutes outside shifts your entire internal metabolic state. All right. Now we arrive at the final hurdle where most people unknowingly destroy all the progress they just made: your first meal. If you choose carbohydrates, your insulin spikes, and your metabolic result is a hard, fast switch into fat storage mode. Everything you just built vanishes. But if you choose protein first, your hormonal response is entirely different. Your body releases glucagon. Glucagon signals your system to keep releasing stored energy continuously. So by eating protein, the fat-burning fire doesn't stop. It continues right through your entire morning. So let's bring this whole shebang together. The core takeaway from this source material we've explored in this explainer today is beautifully summarized simply. Fat loss is not about trying harder, it is absolutely about timing smarter. Your body is an incredible machine. It isn't broken, and it definitely hasn't been working against you. It has been perfectly opening a fat-burning window for you every single morning. It just requires biological alignment to keep that window open. Which brings us to the ultimate question as we wrap things up. Tomorrow morning, will you just follow your old unconscious habits, or will you actually take control of your metabolism? You now have the exact biological blueprint. How you choose to spend those first 30 minutes when you open your eyes tomorrow will literally decide everything.